Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Joe Vieira with the Musicians Lounge. I support local musicians here on the Central Coast, and I have special guest Erik Mccornack from SOUNDHOUSE. He's here with us right now, and he's going to share his musical journey. What's up, man?
Hey Joe, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good. Been all right
Great.
dealing with this COVID shit.
Oh, yeah, amongst other things, right now in our country, it's been a strange
Yeah,
few months, especially for musicians.
yeah, it sucks. So,
It's been rough, but I think we'll get through it sooner or later. It's going to take a while, but I think we're going to be okay. Hopefully, in the long run.
well, I hope you guys play soon because I want to check you guys out again. I saw you guys at the Pine Street Bar, and
I can salute. Yeah.
yep, yep. I went there with my sister twice. Saw you guys, and you guys
Ah,
are amazing. You guys bring out a lot of energy, man. So I really appreciate
oh,
what you
thank
guys do.
you.
So,
Very fortunate to have
anyways,
some great players. Yeah, no, we're very fortunate to have some great players, throughout the 13 years of this band. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of them, but that's what happens, when you're a pretty busy band. We're a pretty darn busy band. I mean, over 100 shows a year. So people sometimes join and think, cool. And about a year into it, they go, oh, my Lord, I need to have a weekend with my family, and I get it. So,
yeah.
and so a lot of people just get overwhelmed, and I totally get it. So
Well,
we just try to.
I got a lot of respect for you guys, man, because you guys really bring it every time you guys play live. So I was really
Thank
excited
you.
to just check you guys out. So,
Yeah,
but
that means a whole bunch from another fellow musician who I respect very much. I heard the Fist of Fear stuff you guys did, and Kelly was. I know Kelly Atwell was talking about. I don't know if you guys ever really joined forces, but I remember he
yeah.
was. You guys were talking about
Yeah,
having him.
I am kicking that idea around right now, so we'll see what happens. I did talk to Kelly about that, but actually, Fist of Fear is coming back. Playing with Doug again. We're gonna start playing soon. We got a rhythm guy back, but we're just missing
Oh,
the
good.
bass player. The
Right
bass
on,
player.
brother.
It's always the bass player. We gotta have a bass player. That's what we're looking
Oh yeah, I know. It's hard to get a lot of people to convert from guitar to bass player, uh,
for.
and because we always seem to have an abundance. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've actually have had better luck with bass players in the last few months than I have drummers. It seems like there's a lot of drummers who are out there, but and once again, I think it has to do with as much as we get, as much as a band like Soundhouses. Sometimes we'll have 5 shows on the weekend. We did that last year where we did a Friday show, 2 Saturday shows, and we had to do 2 Sunday shows. And it's brutal. And then being a drummer and having to sell it up, we don't have roadies. I usually have on some weekends like that, I'll hire someone to come maybe help move gear.
Hmm.
But it's a lot of work for drummers. And for everybody, you having to go from one gig to another. So it's sort of it's not an easy, it's not as easy as a lot of people think it is to come play a gig for 3 hours and leave, because it's a 3 hour gig ends up being more like a 5 hour gig. We did 5.5, 6 hour gig, which time you start unloading your gear, setting it up, doing sound check, performing, then tearing it down and wrapping the chords and loading everything up.
I know what
So
that's
it's
all about.
oh yeah, most of us, I'm sure, watching this understand the work, and it's like sort of hard for a musician, a
Yeah,
band of certain, for some bands who've been doing it for a while, to do a $400, $500 gig when you have 4 people to pay, and sometimes you got to pay a sound guy to help, or just someone, a roadie a couple bucks. So it's tough when a lot of venues, they can't afford more than four,
yeah,
500 bucks. And I get it. So we're starting to rely a lot more on private events where we might be able to get a little more money because we just can't make it. I have 2 of my band members, Bells, who plays guitar, and Joe, and now we have a new drummer that we're working in, uh, Jeff. They all live in Santa Maria, Oceano, Pismo Beach, and if we gig here in Paso, that's quite a drive for them, and gas isn't exactly cheap. So uh, that's the issue with the music business is that
Yeah, gas is going up again.
it's just yeah, it's hard it's hard
Sucks.
to make a living these days, in music the way it is. But as a cover band, we don't have merchandise. We used to make shirts, and so all we do is we go, we play, and we get money, and we divide it up, and and then when we have a cymbal break, that's $300, or I need a new speak. I've had new speakers. Those are you spend thousands of dollars on this equipment. So a whole year's of show might only make up for a brand new PA system. You pay for for that year because shoot, it's sort of crazy, but there's a lot of joy in it too. So you take the good with the bad, right?
Yep. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on equipment. Don't get me started on that shit. I got a whole recording studio right here, so I got all this gear in front of me right now. But so what first got you into music? Did you start very young, or like in high school,
I
like
was
most of us?
young. I was, I was surrounded uh, by music my whole life, which is sort of strange because my family has no. I'm the only musician in my immediate family. My grandmother played organ in the church, and my mother's fathers had some musicians on their side who played trumpet and stuff. But the main thing is I had an older brother who unfortunately passed away in '08. But he and my sister, our brother was 7 years older, and my sister was 4 years older. And I got all their, I got to listen to all their music and, through 8 tracks and records and albums and cassettes, and realized that I sort of had a natural tendency to tap my foot and have a rhythm in me. So I remember, I guess at age 3, I had a little guitar. I get up on the fireplace and play some Creedence, I guess. My parents said I'd play
Sounds like me already.
from the sky. Yeah. So I sort of started. I guess I was a guitar player first. I didn't realize that till just now. When I was 3. But then I would do.
Oh shit! You started out on guitar? Really? I didn't
Well,
know that.
I mean, when I was 3, I'm being silly because when I was 3, there was a little guitar, probably ukulele or something that I remember we had 1 or 2 strings on it. And I'd play that thing, I guess. I don't even remember, but no, I'm not a guitar player. I can
Okay.
play chords.
I know you're a drummer, though.
Yeah, I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer who tries to sing. So then, I'm getting a little better at singing, but now I'm getting a little worse at drumming because I don't really do it much anymore. But I still enjoy it. That's really that's my passion. I really love playing the drums. It's just hard to, I did it for, SOUNDHOUSE started in 2008.
Oh wow.
And with what happened is that I started playing really when I got my first real drum set. I was probably like 8 years old. And actually, it wasn't even a real drum set, but it was a cheap Sears model. Went to the drum head probably in about 4 days. But then I was really interested, and I sort of got a little drum set from the neighbors, and I still added on. And finally, in 7th grade, I got my first real Ludwig kit, and
Oh nice. Oh,
$300
those are
for
awesome,
it.
dude.
It was beautiful. It was I still wish I had that kit, but I was an idiot. In the 80s, I thought I had to have a Pearl drum set, so I bought a Pearl Export, traded mine in, and a Pearl Export back then it was trash, but it was new when Peter Criss made Pearl, and so that's what I was going for. I wish I had that Ludwig kit still, but yeah, I bought the drum set, and I practiced, and I had the best parents in the world. They let me. They didn't. I had to stop at a certain time. Had to make sure my homework was done, and I had to work 3 jobs ever since I was, since I can remember, because we had a walnut ranch, 400 acres of walnuts. My parents owned a meat cutting plant, small plant, a processing plant that I had to work at after school and clean up, and I also worked at a Tascadero market. So, and I also played all the sports in high school. So I played football, wrestled, and baseball, and I also had a band. And Kelly was in my first real band was with Mr. Kelly Outwell, and Robert Zimmerman,
Nice,
and they were the
nice.
Cayucas. I was a freshman, and in the summertime, I'd go over there on weekends. I'd go to school on vacations, spend my weekends in Cayucas playing music, and it was the best memories I could ever have. And
Well, you're a Central Coast native.
oh, absolutely, my family actually, the Mccornacks and my mother's side of the family, the Hirschlers and Iversons, have been. I think we're seventh generation on the Hirschler Iverson side and sixth on the Mccornack side. So
Right.
my grandparents and their grandparents were farmers. My grandparents had 21,000 acres they farmed. So we've been
Jesus.
here all my life, and I've got to know a lot of some amazing musicians, and some I've got to perform with them, and it's amazing what a group of people we have right here. And I've been, sometimes you end up bonding with certain musicians, and you have a lifetime, it's a lifetime musician that you always go back to and say, Andy Shawcross, and obviously Kelly Atwell, Bill Doty, who was in SOUNDHOUSE for a few years. I think I've had 26 different members of the band. I think I lost.
Shit. Wow.
And I'm sure there's a variety of reasons. I can't say that I'm not the cause of that, maybe because sometimes I might have a little bit of an opinion I voice, and it's probably tough being a drummer in a band when the lead singer's a drummer. You can ask Joey Kramer of Aerosmith that. He's him and Steven Tyler have had a very difficult relationship over the years because Steven Tyler is an amazing drummer, and people don't even know that. That's what he did before he joined Aerosmith. And so I understand, and there's some drummers that are a lot better than me that have been in this band, but I just sometimes I hear something and I start to did you play it this way? And a lot of people don't like to be told what to do, and I don't blame them. I don't either. So with that, and people just realize that we're a real busy band, and once they join, and I tell them we do 110 gigs a year, not this year. But and I tell them that, and they say, "Oh yeah, no problem, I can do that." And then we start gigging, and about 5 months in, they're going, "Hey man, I need to get a weekend off." And I go, "Well, these shows are booked. You book a shows 3 months in advance." And then they want, if they want to start finding the sub, I said that's fine, but it got to be a comfortable sub, and then the whole band has to work with that sub for one gig. So ultimately, I think I may have found the group of guys I have right now. I think we're going to be I'm going to have for a few years. And Bales Walker, who
Pretty solid.
He's solid. He came. He moved here from Idaho to join the band. He sent me an audition tape and stuff, and I said, "All right, come on out." And he flew on out, and we did an audition, and he killed the first part of it, and the second part of it, we took a little break and we partaked in a little I don't know, drinking and puffing. And the second part of the audition may not have went so well, but I knew he had the chops, and he's been solid, and now one of what I consider one of my best friends. And now I realize one of the best guitar players I've ever played with. He learns his parts, and not only is meticulous on as close to meticulous as possible on learning the parts, because we're not a cover band to go and take a song, dissect it, and we try to play it how we how we feel the people want to hear it when they're dancing. They want to hear a song. If they want to hear a car song, they probably want to hear what they know, in my opinion.
Right.
Some bands, cover bands, take the song and make it their own. The jammies are masters at taking a song. And In the Air Tonight, they do a great cover of that song.
Oh, I love that song, dude. That song is awesome.
And they do a great rendition of it, man.
How many covers do you guys have? I'm afraid to even ask. It's probably, I'll take a guess. How about 110, 120?
Well, it's sort of a loaded question, because remember, the band's SOUNDHOUSE has been together going on 13 years.
right?
And what's that?
You guys
2008.
been
Yeah,
together since
November.
you started it in 2008, so that's a long time, dude.
It is, and and the thing is I can't tell you. I mean, right now our set list probably has about 60 songs, but over the years of songs we've dropped, or it,
It's over
I would
100
say
easily.
300, probably 350,
300. Damn.
400. I mean,
Holy.
I'll be hearing a song on the radio. I remember I was hearing Jane by Jefferson Starship. I don't know if you know that song.
Oh yeah, yes I do. I know.
Then we used to cover that song. I go, God damn it, I forgot we covered that song. That was a cool song. And yeah, I hear it all of a sudden. I hear, we used to do a lot of heavier stuff. I'll hear like Alice in Chains, "Check My Brain" that came out on the new album. That
Yeah.
was new in 2009 or whatever, and we covered that song. And I go, I can't believe we actually covered that song.
You
It's
guys did Pantera though.
yeah,
Played that at the Pine Street place. So I was like, "What? No way! They're playing Pantera! Holy shit!" That
some
was
people
awesome.
like it. Some people walk out and turn around, but you don't do it till the end of the night because
Everybody's all
there's
intoxicated in the room. Like,
yeah, yeah,
"Yeah, metal, man."
absolutely. If they're still there at 1 in the morning, they probably won't care that we're playing Pantera. So we don't play it at parks and we don't play it at weddings and we don't unless. But then again, I've had people ask us specifically for that song to
Yeah.
play at the wedding. So sometimes you
No
do.
shit. Wow, dude, that's
Yeah,
crazy. Shit.
Pantera fans come of all sizes, creeds, color, and
And which not instrument musician out there inspires you the most as far as you know those big musicians out there? Who was your main influence as while you were growing up?
sure, sure. I mean, I honestly, my first answer is usually not everybody's first answer because they seem to shy away. But I was a huge Kiss fan. I looked at what they did.
Dude, that's so funny because I was just gonna mention that Kiss is
Or
one of my favorite
Aerosmith.
all-time bands of all time, dude. I
I mean, I look
have
at
a Kiss album.
yeah,
I had it.
absolutely. Rock and Roll Over is probably my
Oh, dude.
favorite Kiss album. I love all of them all, but it comes down to I like you know what
Thin
strong
Lizzy
chords,
too. Thin Lizzy.
strong choruses. Yeah, Thin Lizzy. Bales is the Thin Lizzy nut. Our guitar player. That's his favorite band.
Mhm.
I'm not actually not a huge Thin Lizzy fan, but I just haven't really opened up that chapter, and I need to open up that open up that catalog and go a little more into it. But like I don't have any problem saying I wasn't a huge Zeppelin fan, and I don't like Who
Oh,
that much.
hell yeah.
And people go, "Oh my God!" Like, well, I get it. I get it. I'm just being honest. I can say, "Yeah, dude." But honestly, I liked rock and roll. I love Van Halen. I remember, looking at Queen, News of the World, and as a kid, looking at that album, opening up and going, "This is magical." And the music was so. I remember how crisp it sounded and how. And then I really started after I got a little older, and really what changed me is Metallica was a big influence, but Anthrax I really was a big Anthrax. Somehow
Oh,
a
Anthrax.
girlfriend turned me onto of all things Among the Living, which came out. She says, "You got to hear this," and and I was, I think I might have picked my Motley Crue, album out of or tape out of the tape deck, and I threw in this Anthrax, and I heard Indians opening track, and
Yeah.
I go, "What the hell is this shit?" And it blew my mind. And then I opened up that door of the thrash metal and
Yeah.
Megadeth, and then I got into Flotsam and Jetsam before Newstead was even in the band of Metallica. I think he might have just joined. That's why I heard of him. So I went back after Garage Days and then reinvented and started to introduce myself. And they were a great band. I don't think necessarily, in my opinion, but what changed it all was Pantera. Pantera changed everything musically for me. I just listened to what Vinnie Paul, who doesn't get near enough credit for what
Oh,
he
dude, that guy is
contributed to
an
that.
amazing drummer, dude.
He was
Amazing drummer.
And it wasn't necessarily just his ability, but he was more of it to me, an amazing
Was.
producer. He made that sound. He wasn't an amazing drummer, but I mean, you look at drummers like Danny Carey from Tool, or Portnoy, and all these other great rock drummers. He may not even have the hands and the technique, but what he had is I mean, he was amazing. But he knew how to make an album. Those kick drums were like freaking battering rams coming through and punching you when you hear like Becoming off of Far Beyond Driven. I mean, Cowboys from Hell started it all for me.
Yeah.
And I go, wow, what is this? Then Boulder Sway is my favorite album of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I could say that. There's a few other ones, but I just listened to how that record was produced, and I started realizing that albums are produced differently, and you really got to look at stuff. And then I started going into other bands, Tool and a bunch of other rock, and I was a rock guy, and so I was in a band with, like I said, with Kelly and another buddy, Robert, called Black Ice, baby. And from like 94 to 98, and then Kelly left to join a couple other bands, and I did a couple other things. Within a few years later, I joined Devious, and in fact, Doug Swain, who I think was leaving, or I'm not sure how that happened. And I was with Devious, which was Kelly, and the Coombs brothers, Darren and Jason Coombs, who were just out of this world musicians, and then Kelly, and then we did that for about a year, and the brothers got in a fight, and then the band split up. And then from there, I was in a couple other bands, rock and roll bands, and one called 007, which was actually one of my favorite bands. And was Pat Gullier, Matt Gooch, and Mark Cummins, and they were in a band called Imperial Cruiser, and they also lived with Paul, who's a drummer for Slayer. Now he was the Truth About Seafood at the time, which is another one of my favorite bands. And so it was sort of cool because I got to meet a whole new group of musicians from that band. I was living in San Luis at the time. And what happened is we were starting to get a decent following, and we were doing a show at Sweet Swing Saloon.
Oh God!
And this was 1990, 98 or 99, one of the two. I tell you what, Sweet Spring Saloon, and Rochelle, the owner, and I missed that place because yes, at the end it sort of fell apart, but they gave every band a chance. Every punk band wanted to play on a Tuesday night. She'd say, "Come on in. I can't pay you much, but you can have our stage." And
I think I know who that is, dude. I think I know who that is because when I was in False Face Sickness before it turned into Esoteric, I was with Esoteric, and we used to play the shit out of Sweet Springs, man.
I remember that, absolutely. and what a great, we were blessed to have it. Same as, there's a few bars that didn't pay well because they couldn't, but they allowed me to come to this tavern. They can't, one of my dearest friends is Andrea, and Andrea still, she still has music, and you never know what you're going to get at that bar, but she still will have bands come there. Now we're not going to get paid $1,000.
No,
but
you know what? Cool there. It was cool.
It doesn't matter. And we all as musicians use. My first gig was at Devious. My first bar gig, 1993, maybe, something like that, 94. I don't know. And I'll never forget that. I'm getting on the stage and having a crowd of people, other than a house party. House parties are great right now. I prefer house parties, but those are the people that really, those venues that are, Pecos Taver's still there, same owner. Sweet Springs has changed, but look at Harry's. Harry's still, and I give a big, huge shout out to them. Whether you like cover music or not, yes, they do mostly cover bands, and they're going to switch a little bit. I think they're going to mix it up a little bit. I've been in contact with Mike and Anthony, Vicky, who we love, who was booking there 30 years with a manager. She retired. So now they're going to try some different stuff, I think. And to think of a venue that has music 6 times a week, live music. They have karaoke on Thursdays. But think about that. How lucky are we to have a place whether or not, if you're an original band, I get it. Well, Harry will never have us, because after I joined 007, as some might know, we did a show. And I'm sorry to backtrack, but we at Sweet Swing Saloon, and we did an opening band, and part of that group of musicians that I was talking about about seafood, and that I got to meet because of the members of 007, Matt, Pat, and Mark. They also lived with Vance, who's the lead singer of Resonation. That's a reggae band. I'm not sure if you're familiar. They're still going around. Mm-hmm. The Resonation that was actually where I, we actually released a couple albums, tour. We did pretty good. We actually had pretty good success. We actually went #1 in Guam for 1 week, which I still don't understand how that even happened. And that's sort of one of my highlights. But I did join a reggae band for 6 years. Yes. Wow. I didn't own one Bob Marley album.
Wow.
It was 1999 to 2005 or 6, maybe, I don't know. And it made me twice the drummer I was prior to that, because I never knew anything about a one drop or a stepper's beat or rock steady, or it's such a different. The rhythm is such a different thing. The beats are so different than rock and roll. It's backwards. On the 1 and 3.
Definitely. Yeah, it
took me a long. Yeah, it took me a long time, and then when that fell through, I joined the JD Project for about 1.5 years with Dan Ernst and Doug Grosshart and John Scholl, who are 3 of the most talented guys out there. The JD Project's still a great band. They still kick butt every time. And then from that band, I joined my last original band, which was called Burning for Bristol, with a few people. Our buddy Rick Landis, which he passed away, it was his band, and we had a Shay, who was a singer. She was a young girl, a young gal at the time, only 17, 18-year-old, but she had a great voice. And in that band also had Andy Shellcross. And this is how SOUNDHOUSE ended up forming, is that after Burning for Bristol split up, Andy and I talked and said, well, I'm done trying to make it in the music business, writing and recording originals. I was just tired. That no one cares anymore. We realizing, this was 2000, like I said, 2007, 2008. There's no money to be made in originals. Not that we cared. And that, I said, let's just have some fun. And he goes, yeah, let's start a cover band, mate. I said, okay. He goes, how about you sing? I go,
that's how you started?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I always sang. In fact, some of the bands I would play drums and sing back up as a lead singer in the days. But I think that's sort of hard to do, to get people into it when the drummer's singing. I really do. I think you need a front man. So I did that. Excuse me. So we did that as sort of a joke. And we got, so at the time, Andy and I started searching for guitar players. I always wanted to be a 2-guitar player band for some reason. So we got Bill Doty as our guitar player, Jason Meese, amazing drummer, on drums. And then we had a couple other guitar players fill in as a second guitar player. We had Dan Ernst from the JD Project, Grand Central Music, for a while. Mark Doolin, who's a local guy who was in a band called Mayhem with Dave Robinson back in the day. We also had a guy named Bo Smith, who was in the band for a long time. But then I just realized the 5 people, and we were making a lot of money. That it was Mark Shizzle from the Jammies who said, "Dude, why don't you guys just go with one guitar player?" And it was make a little more money, and because really we were losing money half the time. Our bar tab would be more than our, we weren't really taking it serious. So we condensed it, and then at this point now, after having a lot of different members, I got Belsbacher and Joe Duran, who's a phenomenal bass player. He's a bass teacher, actually. That's what he does for a living. And right now, we are in the process of, we just think we found a drummer. And we did find a drummer. His name is Jeff. I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail because he's brand new, and we're still filling out the waters with him. But Mike Morris and Erik Pettit were in SOUNDHOUSE for 3 years, and Mike's the drummer, and Erik Pettit's the bass player. Two of the best musicians around, and they'll always be part of the family. They, and if they're always there to fill in if you need them as well. But just the love of I have from all these guys who are, and there's not one person I can think of that I am enemies with. We don't talk that, other than maybe one guy. Actually, one guy, but that's not my fault. I really believe that, and I think he would probably tell you that. But anyways, it's nice because I can have a relationship with all these great musicians, and I'm really fortunate. So,
Have you jammed ever? I mean, have you ever jammed with Gene Baker and Mark Chisel?
absolutely, I've been on drums probably a few times where they needed a drummer, and talk about a treat, talk about a treat.
Yeah, they're
Gino is not
amazing
only
guitar
just not only a shredder, he's just an amazing man, and he's got such a great outlook, and in being a guitar maker, and he's just got so much knowledge. He's not just a musician; he's knowledge of everything. Great sound guy. I know, they're in Tehachapi now, and it's a bummer because we don't get to see him as much. But
Yeah,
they were planning on coming to do the 4th of July at Harry's for a show, and I was really stoked. But because of COVID,
yeah, I saw his guitars at the NAMM show once. I went to his booth. Yeah, he's got some amazing guitars, man. Pretty amazing.
he's an artist, in the true sense of the word, not just a musician who plays cover songs. He can play guitar. He can, he wrote music, and he builds things. Yeah, he's done it. Ronnie Montrose was, we got to open up for Ronnie Montrose at the Harbor Festival in Morro Bay, and it's basically, because Gene was making his guitars, basically probably about, I don't know, maybe 6 months before he, ended his life.
Right.
And we got to hang out with him, and the things he said about Gene, he was raving about Gene Baker. So we love you, Gene.
Yeah, I actually met Mark Chisel a couple times. I remember him back in the day with Shade Tree.
Oh, yeah, monster man. Aaron Bernard was their drummer, and Aaron was our drummer for about 6 months in SOUNDHOUSE, but he has some really bad hearing issues, and he had really bad. It's a shame. He's a great drummer, but Mark, I tell you what, I don't think there's anybody I've ever played with, and I think most guitar players, would agree that Gene Baker as well, but Mark Chisel's above the rest when it comes to. We've done like four, like 6 recordings in his home from, we've done a couple of Van Halen covers, and we did a zombie cover. We did a Kiss cover. He also did our demo for SOUNDHOUSE, and he, not only can he play, but he's mastering Pro Tools, and he can record anything. I mean, he make it sound like our cover. Our job, we said, let's just try to make it sound as close to the record, and we did "I'm the One," off Van Halen one. I'm the one.
Yeah.
And we did "Little Dreamer." And I tell you what, I'm proud of those things. And he, talk about the easiest job in the world, me singing David. That's no David Lee Roth. That's not necessary. But he hitting those leads, man, Jesus, he nailed those. You can look up YouTube and go to Mark Chisel. You could probably find those videos. He's doing other stuff too. So
yeah, I went to his channel a couple of times. I remember he was in a band. I don't know the name of it, but they kind of sounded like Queen's Reich.
my guy.
Yes.
My guy.
Yes.
Best band on the Pacific Coast, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to that era, Devious, my old band, I was in Doug Swain's old band and Kelly's old band, and them and Mayhem, which was Dave Robinson, who was in the Jammies with Mark now, but Dave Robinson and Mark Doolin, who was my guitar player, SOUNDHOUSE, and a couple other guys. I mean, they were the Mayhem and Zeitgeist and Devious, at the time were the big metal bands. I remember that. But personally, I think Kelly would tell you, I think, Zeitgeist was definitely my favorite. It came to originals. They wrote some of the greatest. And Jason Lamb, their singer, who was a buddy of mine, just killed it. And then, Joel Kelly, who was our guitar player, passed away a few years ago, which was tragic. But, the whole band, we had so much good freaking music, man, back in the 90s and 80s and 90s. So many good bands around here. And just, but you go around the world. I mean, America, there's great bands everywhere. It's just trying to find them and having the bands stick around long enough to dedicate themselves to get past the first year, because it's not easy work, and most bands, they peter out after one guy goes, hell, I quit, and they just
and they fade away. They're done. That's it.
Yeah, and it's special. Absolutely.
Hell yeah, I know how that is.
We've all been there, brother.
Oh yeah. Shit. So what's next for SOUNDHOUSE, man? I mean, I know we're in this pandemic bullshit, but any idea? I mean, so bars are not open, right? They're technically
they're open, but not for entertainment. See, the problem is we've been playing private parties,
right?
Pretty much every weekend, which is nice,
right?
But those, it's just not the same. These people are doing it, these private parties
to keep it alive
are booked over gigs I already had booked, like concerts, like for instance, we were supposed to do tomorrow. I think, tomorrow we were supposed to be playing Templeton concerts in the park, and that's a big show. I think like 3,000, 4,000 people come out, and we've done it a few years, and that's gone. Now, would we rather be playing that, or I'm playing a cool birthday party, on Saturday? But I really would rather have Bill Gaines running my sound, or our sound, and playing in front of 3,000 people, but that's been taken away, which I don't understand why that's taken away when you walk out and you see people in masses everywhere.
I totally freaking agree with you. That pisses me off. I think this whole bullshit is just overrated, dude. It just needs to stop.
All you got to look at, in my opinion, I know this is political, but all you got to look at is the number of deaths in our county. Now, this is a real thing. COVID's a real thing, and people need to be careful. But
they do need to be careful,
especially the elderly and the sick, as we know. This is repeating what we already know, but I don't know why they think people can't make a choice for themselves. I want to go out and join and watch a concert. I'll wear my mask. I'll separate 6 feet, just like you do when you're supposed to be going to a restaurant, or they can make it happen, but I think people are just too scared of what will happen if they go ahead and defy, the government, California's governor, for instance, because he has, I'm not playing political parties, but in some states they're opened up, they never shut down, and so we'll see. But I think it's gonna be okay down the road, unless they do mandate that bands have to wear masks or something.
Yeah, so that's where I'm frustrated. It's like, okay, if you wear a mask and stuff, I mean, you see people on beaches not wearing them. You see in huge crowds, rallies, all kinds of stuff, and they're not wearing them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, okay, why can't
they're not wearing them?
No,
because what's going to happen if they don't wear them? But when they might have them around their neck, and guys might have a mask. They might have one, in their pocket. And it makes some people think, well, everybody should have a mask. You don't care about people if you're not wearing a mask. you don't care about your fellow man. That's just not true. And you know, it's like calling someone a racist or because they might not agree with something. It doesn't mean you're racist. I mean, so I don't wear a mask because I love mankind. I love, but it's just, I don't think I don't think that at this point, someone's fear should trump my freedom of not having to go. And a lot of people can disagree with that. I'm not trying to even, be political right now, but that's where we're at when it comes to music. It's why we can't get started because you were at Pine Street, right? How many people were there? I mean, get your move.
Dude, it was packed. It was packed inside, and it was packed in the back.
And that's not because of SOUNDHOUSE per se. It's people love music, and it's a tiny bar. So imagine the owner of that bar is a dear friend of mine, and he just reopened yesterday, but he can't have live music, and it's a tiny bar. He can only have a certain amount of people. So he's got to rely on just people coming in for drinks and not doing karaoke, not doing acoustic nights or open jams, which he has, or Saturday live music.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
what the money is. Yep.
People stick around, and so
and they keep
but
drinking.
it's not. But at least he's open. Musicians aren't open. We're not open. We can sneak around, who knows? I don't, unless this goes viral. But listen, we got to sneak around because I still have gotten unemployment, a penny from unemployment. I've been trying to, like no one answers my phone, and so in real estate, which is my day job, in real estate, there's my plug. Call me if you're looking to buy or sell a house. But real estate's, it's been really slow too because people are selling, they don't know what's going on, and so they're waiting even though rates are low. So my income was taken away along with everybody else's. And when I say my income, I'm not just saying for Eric. I'm saying, but look at someone like our bass player Joe, who's a music teacher. He doesn't have work. They close this, he can't, and there's I can tell you, my buddy Ben Del Giorgio, who is in SOUNDHOUSE, who actually is probably he's in the biggest corporate cover band probably in the world. I mean, this guy's played with Lou Graham, he's played with Vanilla Ice, he's played with the singer for Kansas, he's played with Steve Augeri from Journey. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so, but those gigs, in his corporate band, they play for Trump on New Year's Eve at Mar-a-Lago. That's how big this band is.
Oh, holy shit!
He's gone. He has no work. And so he went from having a recording studio, a studio in LA, and where he lived with his wife of a year, they just had an anniversary, to having to move back to his mom and dad's house and give up his studio in LA and live here in Paso now. And there's nothing inside. They have a couple, just like we do. We have a couple gigs that might be happening if we reopen. But see, you can't book a show like he can't. But he has this show, and I think it was the Bahamas or something. I don't know. But it's tentative. Are we going to be opened up? Is the airport's going to be opened up? Can he fly there? And so we don't know what to do. And so as musicians, and people don't seem to really care. Like people go,
I care.
No, I don't mean not everybody, but a lot of people think,
yeah, I know.
Well,
I know
for public safety.
Yeah.
As I see that, and then you walk downtown and there's 10,000 people in San Luis, which protesting is fine. If you're going to protest, whatever, I get it. But then again, you can't protest and get mad at people for saying, well, I guess we're open. I guess this is over because no one's 6 feet apart marching hand in hand and the people with masks down. So why don't we just say, well, I guess people, because there's millions of people, I bet if you took around the whole country who decided to partake in these, which I get it. If that's important to them, please, that's our, as long as it's peacefully and not burning and destroying things.
Yeah, music came to a stop, man. It just
But why don't we? I don't understand why we have to be shut down as musicians. Could we play those rallies? Could we? Hey, you guys want a band? I probably wouldn't play a rally like that, but but why can't that happen? And we can't go play at a local pub and make a couple $100 so we can, buy strings for our guitars or drumsticks or a new microphone or cables or whatever. It's sort of a weird deal. I don't know what's happening. I think they pick and choose who they want to work and who they don't, and musicians really aren't on their priority list.
Well, I hope the hell I get to see you guys soon. I mean, I hope the shit blows over because I would like to check you guys out again, man, because that was awesome.
Love to have you, bud.
My
Come up
sister
and do a
likes you
song with
guys.
us.
Husband likes you guys. We all do out here in Central Coast. You guys rock it. You guys have tons of energy, and you get the crowd. I noticed the crowd just gets freaking pumped, man. They're, all the women are right there in the front, just raising
I don't
hell.
know.
And you guys,
They
crazy,
must be really drunk, man. I don't know. No, I think it's, here's the deal. One of the most important things I had to do, and it took me about 8 years in this band, is separate my love for song and the songs I was choosing, and realize I needed to choose songs that people, the public like. We're doing, there's songs on our set list that I honestly, I see, I write the set list, I pick the songs, and there's songs I really can't stand. And I'm not going to name the songs, but there's songs I just go, oh my God, but it get a good reaction every time out of the crowd. And that's only thing that should matter. I mean, do you think Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Erik Singer, and Tommy Thayer, when they're doing a Kiss show, that they're looking forward to playing rock and roll all night and party every day as their encore? And no, they don't. But once they start and people start going batshit crazy, you forget about how boring that song is. And that's what you do. But you don't, that's why Pantera's not necessarily on this, it's not on the set list. We told a personality by Living Color of a song we always ended our shows on. Always.
Oh, Living Color?
Yeah. It was for years. It's such a great song. But just realized that it wasn't getting a lot of response. And so we sort of just made it out. And we ended with AC/DC, Highway to Hell, because everybody knows that song. And so the set list of our set list is basically just, I picked probably about 98% of the songs. As Bale's friend put it, he's giving me more input. But it's just songs that I think that I really worry more about what I think a woman would like. I hope it doesn't sound like, I don't think that's misogynist or whatever, but because if you have women on the dance floor, men will come. And that's why there's women up front a lot of times. Because this fat bald guy's up there, or, it's because they know the songs and they, and they want to, if they hear something they like, guess what? They're on the dance floor. Guess who else comes to the dance floor? All the horny guys, come around. So, if we're doing nothing but, metal songs or so, or if we're doing songs, like I said, Alice in Chains earlier, Check My Brain. Great song. But you know what? Most people are going, that song starts out, if you even know what song it is, it's, and all of a sudden the cheers are going, whoa, and they just walk away. And so you got an empty dance floor. Then you got to try to rig one back up and say, come on, guys.
Hey, I got an Alice in Chains request for the future if you're not doing it yet.
Well, what is it?
Stone. You heard that song? Look it up,
Which
dude.
one?
It's called Stone.
Well, I'm sure I have every Alice in Chains album. Which song is it?
It's like their, I think it was not the new release, the one before that.
Yeah, The Devil's But Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think no, I don't think that's what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. If you look it up, it's called Stone. It's an awesome freaking song. It's
I probably know it. I know all those. The latest. I don't have Rainier Fog, which is their latest. Their latest album. I should buy it because I like to support Jerry. I thought the whole they did the whole Lane Staley death, and they did it right. The way they,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of bands, you know, they did it right. They asked permission from his family if they could go on, sort of what AC/DC did when they lost Bond, you know, and Metallica did when they lost Cliff.
Yeah.
They didn't just go out and hire and keep doing it. They took time, and, you know, so, and they make great records still. They really do, man. You know,
what was your best show you ever played at? The best one.
My best show.
I know you played at a lot of them, but I know that's probably a hard question to ask. But
no, actually, there's a few shows that stand out. And it's not even the most. It's not. We played the House of Blues in Sunset on Sunset Strip in Resonation. I think 2004, and the only reason why is because soon after they tore it down, and it's no longer there. And it was the most beautiful. I don't know if you've ever been to the Sunset Strip House of Blues.
Oh yeah, dude! I grew up in Simi Valley. I
it was the best venue, man.
Yeah, I played at House of Blues there, and I played the House of Blues in Anaheim too.
Yeah, well, then, you know, I mean, it's like, and I realized, you know, when I was there and we were playing, and, you know, we brought a busload of people from the Central Coast, and so we had friends there, but there was also it was a sold out show, and I remember going, you know, having a monitor guy and he goes, hey, this PA system was the Rolling Stones PA system they use on the Steel Wheels tour. And I go, what? You know, it was just stuff like that. So that was a real big show. But I was also, I have to tell you, I was only one song, but I got to play, I got to sing, and this is before I was even singing. I got to sing with It's So Easy, Guns N' Roses tune, with Steven Adler playing drums, and we had Yogi playing guitar, who's played with Alice Cooper, and anyway, it was really cool because other than Vulgar Display of Power, Appetite for Destruction was, you know, those two albums changed music for I can't not mention that album. I can care less about the Illusion albums or anything else after. That album changed me as well. But and I've got to meet and hang out with Steven a few times. I've got a buddy, Stefan Adika, who's some of his best. He's a musician. He's played with you know, some of the LA bands, you know, Dee Dee Ramone and LA Guns and stuff. And he lives here in Paso. And his wife was my ex-manager for Resonation. So anyways, long story, but you know, I got to meet and become friends with Erik, the drummer for Kiss. And I was like, I can't believe I'm sitting here on New Year's Eve having pizza and drinking a beer with Erik, you know. And then comes Tommy Clufetos, the drummer for Black Sabbath right now, and Ozzy, and these guys, you know. And here's little old me, and you know, and I get to actually, you know, I get to know these people, and it's a treat because they're idols of mine, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, stuff like that, you know, when they say my highlight, you know, of my music career, I mean, or whatever, you know, my performance, it's not a certain place, just being able to interact with people. Like, you know, I got to go to Bomb Shelter recording studio in Los Angeles when I was in the JD Project, and that's Erik Kretz, Stone Temple Pilots' drummer. He owns that studio. He's one of the best recording engineers, and he's amazing. He was the heart of that band. And if you listen to Stone Temple Pilots, who was actually my favorite band out of the 90s, and no one gives them any credit. You listen to those first two albums, there ain't a bad song on them, and you listen to the drum tracks, they're perfectly precise. The cymbal work is just, it blows me away. And we got to spend a whole weekend in his studio with a bunch of other musicians. I mean, you know, I got to, it's hard to pick brains of people that, you know, are famous, and you know, but if you just approach them right, they'll open up and tell you anything you want to know. And I remember I was asking him about, you know, recordings and stuff, and I sort of felt shy, but then he just opened up because why? He loves music, man. They all freaking love music. And you could talk music with these guys and not have to feel like you're pushing it. As long as you're not asking stupid questions like, hey man, do you get a lot of chicks? you know, and you know, you talk their language, they'll be happy to talk with you.
Oh man. Well, before we leave, before we cut this, I gotta let everybody know you got the most killer pad, dude. You're like living like
Oh,
a
thank
star,
you.
bro. I
Maybe
was there.
should I do a quick tour?
Yeah, go for it, dude. You got to show that
Should I do
band
a quick
room,
tour?
dude. Show everybody, man. That's badass, dude. You got to see this.
I thought you said thank you. Okay, well, I don't know who's in the house, man. Okay, so let's see. This is just the kitchen. We'll start with the front yard. I just did some remodeling out here.
Nice.
Okay, can you see it? I don't know. Okay, so
it's been a while since I've been there, but man, wait till you guys see the backyard, guys. Oh, holy shit!
All right. There's my bike, and then we got the front of the house, a tiki palace. So here we are. So here's the compound at Pastor Rebels. This is the front of the house, and I'm actually.
Hopefully we don't lose you.
Here we got the indoor the living room and stuff. It's just nothing, you know. But the backyard is where it's at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, we got the little. I don't know if I should show you what's going on back here, but we'll just let that. What are those plants? Are those? Oh well. Yeah. So
look at that shit, guys. This is so cool. I mean, he's changed it since I've been there, but look at this. This is
probably a little different.
Oh yeah, way different.
Yeah, my buddy built me this tiki bar, and I'm so blessed to have such good friends, and you know, and then we got a little bit of the pool action going, and a little miniature golf, so we enjoy it. We're blessed. We're blessed to be here in Paso.
It's like MTV Cribs over there, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but it's it's sort of
it's cool, man. Way cool shit.
Yeah, and then here's I better show you the jam room.
Awesome. This is freaking awesome, guys. Check this out. This is
so we got a little jam room action in my beautiful girl Christina's art. She's a artist, so yeah, there you go. Sorry, not trying to be boastful, but I am proud of the work we've done here. And so here's her. Hey, got to show my girl Christina's latest work. Here's her nebula. Isn't that pretty cool?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, anyways, enough plugs for my wife and everything in my crib. But I tell you what, Joe, I want to thank you for being so for taking the time and being so involved with the music community here on the Central Coast, man.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm a musician myself, and I have respect for everybody out here. And you guys need to be noticed big time. You guys deserve everything you guys do. Period.
Thank you, brother. That really means a lot, man.
Yeah. So, hey guys, I'm going to sign off now, but I want to thank Eric for showing up and doing this. This is a special treat for me and everybody else. Hopefully these guys will be playing soon, and I'm sure Eric will let me know when, and I'll post it all over Musicians Lounge page, and so that way you guys know in advance when they are playing next. So
that sounds great. I think thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, no problem. Take it easy, man. Be safe out there.
All right, man.
Take care of that pad of yours over there, man. That's awesome.
Come by and have a cold one with me soon.
All right, man. Peace out.
See ya.